Crad wife N-word enjoyer that launched a right-wing career. I think I heard about this.
Lily Gaddis has sparked backlash
Love
for
my
multiple
AI
videos in
voice.
which she hit out at minorities, feminists, the LGBTQ community, and used the N-word. Gaddis has since had her TikTok page banned, her X account temporarily suspended, and even been fired from her job.
Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke.
The company she was working for, which is run by an African-American woman, slammed the behavior, saying her remarks on social media don't align with the company's values and beliefs. The influence.
Okay, I've said this before and I'm going to say it again, and I genuinely don't care if this gets me any flack, okay? If you say X person said the N-word, X white person said the N-word, you had better be referring to the hard R, okay? The soft A and the hard R are two completely different words. If you pretend they're the same, you're being dishonest. Genuinely, you're being dishonest. Like, you need to roll that way back. Because then every single time I'm going to think like, oh man, she dropped the hard R. And then I see it's the soft A's because she's just like affecting some parlance she heard from hip hop. And then it's like, oh, okay, that's like completely different, you know? I'm not saying it's like not bad or whatever. I'm just saying it's obviously different. Announced his decision to let her go in a statement. Damn, dude. Okay, f it. You know what? I'm here for it. I'm gonna say it. Okay. She got fired for that. She got fired just for saying the soft A in a TikTok. Like any shit you hear like rap on the radio, you drop soft A, and that's enough to lose your job. I don't know, man. Generally speaking, I understand that if you've got employees who have some kind of like public rep and they're making like a bad name for your company or whatever else, but like, damn, dude. Okay. Like, if anything, I think it's way more justifiable to like fire someone for like having conservative opinions than it is to fire them for saying the soft A. Like, if she was saying homophobic shit or racist shit, like political positions, I mean, that's way the worse than saying the soft A. Who gives a about the soft A? If she, dude, I would rather someone say the soft A than like say they thought Reagan was a good president, you know? She drops the slur very casually while wearing a patterned apron and cracking pepper. Thank you, theindependent.co.uk. She doubled down ahead of their shit takes. Then why is the focus on the N-word thing? It's always on the N-word thing. It's always, if she doubled down ahead of their shit takes, then that's the shit you should be going after her for, not the soft A, man. Is this her? This certainly looks like a woman who would say the N-word.
So a recent video of mine seems to have upset members of a certain community, and all the backlash just really made me, you know, just really do a deep dive, like do a soul search. And after all that, I still couldn't find a care.
You're gonna call us
okay? No, it's like
racist. You're McBoo.
Okay, great. This is so cringe, dude. Jesus Christ. Persecution complex. I think Southwest Airlines was firing black people for saying ninjas on social media. They had to get a lawyer and linguist to get them compensation. That seems like a totally different thing. I don't know. Steelman in the South, the phonetic difference between the hard R and soft A are significantly less pronounced than up north, and maybe that matters. I think there's a point to that. I'm not saying that you're totally invalid, but like just based on like the bleeped slur that I heard in the TikTok that we just listened to, that was definitely soft A. Like, what did she say? What hate-filled remarks? Like, they're not mentioning any hate-filled remarks. They're just saying, like, the N-word. Okay. Convicted wrongfully just like Trump. Damn. She went on InfoWars right away? God damn, that was fast. In the same interview, she claimed victimhood is very profitable before saying there's not a lot of racism in this country. See, that's worse than saying, like, the soft A. InfoWars interview. God, that happened so quickly. It's literally like, you know, white girl says the N-word, or sorry, the N-word, you know, day 1, day 2, you're on InfoWars, you know. 1:44:15 if you want to watch. Oh, she's the one who made this video where this lady who peaked in high school. This is so embarrassing.
Those nerds in high school, like the weird theater kids and the anime people, and ugh, you know who I'm talking about, the people we didn't hang out with. So they've grown up now, and they're the ones making the laws. They're the Mark Zuckerbergs. They're the Faucis of the world of fucking nerds. Those fucking dorks that never got laid in high school, and they got a major chip on their shoulder against the normies. That's why you see all these fat ass making laws. Oh, Oh, you can be obese and anorexic. Okay, sure. They're the ones inventing.
Do you ever get like the feeling, like the sympathetic embarrassment when you see a conservative influencer not quite understand what they have to say? So they're just sort of like aping the general talking points that like they're kind of like they're like sort of trying to grasp at what they're supposed to say, but you can tell they don't really have like the juice for it. So in her case, because I don't know, it kind of like I don't know her life, it kind of the vibe she gives me is knocked up at 17 in high school and like every dream has been burnt out since, and she's subservient to a husband who kind of like dictates her life. I'm not saying that's true. That's just the vibe. That's purely vibe based, right? And like from that perspective, it's like, how do I critique liberalism? Well, they're like the nerds and we're the jocks. What? That's so embarrassing. Why would you come at it from that perspective? That's such an embarrassing way of presenting that argument. Jesus Christ. It goes on like that for a while. So interview 144.
The silent majority is Lily Gaddis, and she has no doubt been one of the most viral videos on X and on the internet in the last, let's say, 48 to 72 hours.
Oh,
and I want to get kind of some background.
That's when you know you're covering some content of great magnitude right there. You know, behind the video of the moment, main character on Twitter today. You know, really high level stuff. Amish looking motherfucker. Oh my God, that suit. Ugh. Give me 1 day without this, man. Give me 1 day without this. Come on. This goddamn cornflower blue, like skinny fit.
Information from her first before we get to some of.
Why is it so tight? Dudes will literally spend like 3 hours in the gym a month and make it your problem by deciding every item of clothing now has to hug their body like the filthy Frank green screen suit or whatever.
Some of the spicy stuff. So Lily, thank you for joining us today. But out of the gates, what is kind of your backstory here? I guess you had an X account before it was banned. You created a new one. I mean, what was kind of your presence on the internet? Did you have an internet personality? Is this just like you just make a video, now all of a sudden it's like a sensation? What is kind of the backstory behind?
It's so indicative of where the conservative culture war space is at, that getting fired for saying the N-word is, and again, the N-word I'm saying euphemistically here because I genuinely think that like the hard R soft A conflation is a major issue when it comes to delivering these points. Like literally, like, how do you become a right-wing celebrity? You get fired for saying the N-word. That's it. Literally it. There's no like broader point. Look at her eyes, soulless. She does look a little bit zooted at the moment. I mean, it's just like a still frame from a video, but
Lily.
Right. So I've always been super conservative. Obviously, I was raised in a super conservative household. You know, so it's not like being red pilled is new to me. I've always been somewhat active on social media and always super outspoken with my beliefs and stuff because they're correct. And then recently I was like, I'm going to start making, you know, little minute videos of just like me talking about the stuff that we all think, but a lot of us are too scared to say out loud.
Pinhole pupils. I will say, why are her pupils so fucking tiny? I don't want to immediately jump to the haha drugs thing, but like look at her little pinprick. It's crazy.
I started to build a little tribe, and then I had a few kind of go a little bit viral. So I was like, okay, we'll start an X account. That first one got banned, of course. And then I just restarted a new one, and we're back.
So wait, what have we said so far? She's conservative. She was raised conservative. She had a Twitter account. Now she has another one. That's what we've got so far? Okay.
Back in business now.
So is it fair to say that you've never gone viral before? You've never had the amount of following or attention that you have now?
Yeah, I would say so. This is kind of a big deal.
This is what people tune in for?
Like I'm sure you've had your fair share of doxing and people coming after you and something going viral. So it's all too new to me, but I think it's just like you have to still stand up and say the truth regardless of what, you know, people think, because we're not going to live in a free country.
What is the truth, man? The truth is the N-word? What are we talking about? What did she even say?
Unless we all stand up you know, collectively and just start speaking, because we don't have the government necessarily as of yet telling us what to do, but we have the mob telling us what to do, and they're controlling the agenda, and they are allowing who can and cannot speak in this country, and that's just not wrong, or that's just not right, because, you know, if
I feel like conservatives engage with systemic analysis the same way toddlers engage with object permanence before they develop it, which is to say it's a cognitive ability that they just don't have, and it's sometimes kind of weird when you remember that, and you have to like build your conversations with them around the fact that they don't possess that. The government isn't telling us what to do yet, but the mob tells us. That's why we all have to stand up. What the f are you talking about? What are you talking about? The concept of social pressure? What do you mean?
If you want to live in a free country, freedom of speech is the most important part. That's the only way.
Like she could I think, and I mean this genuinely, I think she could make a fair argument here that it's pretty weird to get fired from your job because in a TikTok you dropped the soft A. Like, I personally think that if a white boy wants to go on TikTok and, like, I don't know, rap alongside Kendrick or whatever, that they should be able to do so without losing the thing that they use to buy groceries, I guess. I don't know. It really depends on the context, I guess. I'd rather people just get fired for being conservative, to be honest, because at least that means you're evil. That concert goer did nothing. The white girl that was it Drake brought up? Yeah? Okay, yeah. Yeah, she did nothing wrong. Oh, was it Kendrick or was it Drake? Oh, are there two different instances of this happening? It was also Kendrick. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
You can preserve the rest of your freedoms. That is the fundamental freedom in this country, and it's really under attack from people who cannot stand the truth being spoken.
What truth? What's happening? Do you mean your employer? Your employers are the ones who fired you. Who are you? Your former employers, I should say. What do you... God, these people are so boring. Well, in her case, again, like, we're talking about a thoroughly mediocre person who has been briefly and very temporarily, keep this in mind, elevated to stardom for saying the N-word. Now, all of a sudden, there's a lot of attention on her, and she has to, like, quickly adopt all of the dog whistles and all of the culture war indicators that conservative pundits use. And... you know, not everyone comes into this with the media training necessary to not sound like a weirdo when doing all that. So she's going to kind of like stumble through it, but no one will talk about her in a week, probably, is my guess. I mean, stuff can happen, but...
or having any opinion that conflicts with their own personal opinions.
So I guess you've done some videos preparing food, and I guess that makes you a trad wife now if you want to cook for yourself or your family. Do you consider yourself a trad wife?
I don't really, I wouldn't say I'm a part of any kind of the groups.
She's so boring. She's so boring. I'm sorry, guys. You're just gonna have to infer the rest of this interview. There's nothing here, man. I'm mining a coal mine that has no coal in it. I'm hitting rock right now. I need her. Sleepy Joe Biden, you're f***ing insane, dog. You're insane, man. Really? Is the symmetrical face and clear skin like all it is for you? Do you need like an egg with a wig on it? Come on, man. You got to look at the signifiers, okay? This woman doesn't even give head. Don't even... You kidding me with this? What fun are you gonna have? Or is that your thing? No, Vosh, I can fix her. But I could fix her. You people are crazy, man. Genuinely, like you upset me. I could make her worse. I also don't think you could do that. I think that she's entirely out of your hands. Literally and, you know, conceptually.
Several days later.
I don't want to linger on this one for too long because it's of, I don't know, let's say, varying interest. But do you remember how just a few days ago there was a lady who said the N-word on TikTok and got fired and then immediately pivoted into trying to make it a right-wing grift, right? We're all familiar with this, okay? Now, I want to reiterate a point that I made before. I want to be clear about this. I still think it's kind of bullshit to say that somebody said the N-word when you mean the soft A, but I will acknowledge that with her, I think it's okay to, because she immediately pivoted into trying to build a Nazi audience, like with no hesitation whatsoever. The problem is, as has been noted in this excellent tweet, she lacks the sauce. I can tell her heart isn't in it. She just doesn't have what it takes. Let's see if you agree. 38-second clip. How far can you make it before you decide that she lacks the juice?
Yeah. Hey, America. Hey, people not having kids. You are some stupid motherfuckers out there. The birth rate is declining, and what are you doing? You're getting married. Like, why even bother getting married, you loser?
No.
You're getting married. You have some
Juiceless,
dog in a
yeah.
stroller like a and then what are you doing? How are you helping America? We're letting...
She's trying way too hard. No sauce at all. You could even tell she flinched a little bit when she said it.
We're letting the birth rates decline, and I'm speaking particularly to white people. So today, I want you to take the time out of your day to thank a single mom, because us girls getting knocked up, we're the only ones helping with the declining birth rate. You're welcome, America.
She's a single mom. So basically, she got fired for saying the N-word, soft A, whatever. It's not really relevant in her case. And she initially attempted to pivot into being like a conservative grifter. Like, you know, I got fired for speaking the truth or whatever. PC language is killing America.
Welcome.
Whatever
God.
else. Why did it start playing again? I didn't touch anything. Elon! It's cursed. Get it off. I didn't. My hands were like hovering above the mouse and keyboard. I wasn't... Okay, whatever. So anyway, she immediately pivoted, blah, blah, blah. Let's take a look at the comments, okay? Now let's wonder for a moment, okay? Is there anything in the world that might hamper this single mother's attempt to win the good graces of a ultra far-right audience? Let's see. As we saw the last time we took a look at her, like 2 days ago, there were already a bunch of right-wingers accusing her of being Jewish. Is she Jewish? I don't know. I don't really care. The accusations are all that matters with Nazis, because they'll call anything and everything Jewish if they don't like it. Your child doesn't look white, though, so how does this help us? Lol race mixing L. From Classics Groip. This is one of my favorite interactions in Twitter history, by the way. Then the lady says, just because your wife bangs black dudes doesn't mean I do. Again, very far right, blah-de-blah, pander to the grift. I'm an incel, you foul-mouthed bitch. Isn't this your brown baby, though? An environment in which saying you're an incel is like a parry. Incredible. Yeah, I don't know. Is the kid mixed race? I don't know. Again, I don't give a f, but they do. They sure as shit do. Yeah, a single mother with a, I don't know. Is the baby mixed? I don't care. It's totally irrelevant to me. Single mother on its own was probably enough to begin with. You know, Nazis hate women. I mean, even just like a regular, not single mother, a mother with a husband, like they would have hated her for something, right? They would have gone into the 23andMe of her husband and said like, oh, this guy's like 6% Romanian, which is basically like being sub-Saharan African. Yeah. I don't even want to like, if you scroll through this, by the way, she's getting like mega ratio. Every comment is like, coal burner, you're fucking black guys, you're a traitor to the white race, you're et cetera, not helping if your child is mixed, your child isn't white, that baby isn't white, from something Graper, another Graper account, your kid's not white, my baby's white as fuck. 173 comments. I wonder what they're like. You're a mud shark, race mixing, blah, blah, blah. Guys, it's the whole thing. I have never seen a right-wing grift career crash that hard. Do you think she could, like, get her old job back? So Nick Fuentes' fan base, I guess, went after her, presumably because she's a woman and they don't like women. You know, because they're kind of gay. But then the fact that they could go after her for being allegedly Jewish single mother, non-white kid or whatever, you know, whatever is convenient to them. Yeah, she kind of tanked her entire life, I guess. I don't even know where she's meant to go from here. Here she is with is that Sneeko? Didn't this guy get punched like today? Yes, and it broke his front teeth. Guys like Hyperborea is impregnating your 12-year-old sister, and they've got like a Wojak profile, and they're 13. Yeah. Anyway, she's trying to beat the allegations. Lucas Gage tried stealing my quote-unquote Jewish nose, but it didn't work. The thing that's most impressive to me about this lady is that I thought she was just going to do the regular conservative grift, right? Like, she could have pivoted in the direction of, you know, she could have gone with the, like, everyone says the N-word with the soft A. It's in rap songs. If you're so upset about me using it, then, like, why is it ubiquitous in culture? Guys, I'm not going to lie with you. If that had been the direction she'd gone in, I would have handed her that point. Genuinely, the idea of losing your job just for saying the soft A, in a non accusatory context, I don't like. I think at the very least there's something to go for there. But instead, she skipped over that path and she went right to like, no, I'm going to appeal directly to the Nazis. And yeah, she like ended up all the way over there. It's pretty funny. I don't know. It didn't work out for her. She committed too hard. She was bitching about immigrants in the same breath. Yeah, but that's like half the country, though. Again, I'm just talking about the word itself. Like, if that's the direction she had pivoted in. Again, I've said it before. Firing an employee for being a conservative, to me, is much more defensible than firing them for saying the N-word with the soft A. Some guy rapping along in the shower, or like he records himself rapping, he drops it, and it's like, oh, you know, you lose your job for that. Versus, like, you know, the median conservative position is like 2 steps away from full-on Third Reich shit, right? Like, I think in terms of like what's going to make my coworkers uncomfortable, like, what do you think? You know, the median conservative's position on immigration when you have 6 Mexican coworkers, or dropping the soft A. Personally, I think, you know, like, I'm just saying we should get our priorities straight. Yeah, she ended up doubling down. I'm just saying that, like, I think that if she was smarter, she could have done a better job of like pacing out how she did the grift. But not anymore. You know, not anymore. It's pretty funny. She could have gotten away with it if she wasn't a woman, but they hate women. Ooh, they hate women. She would have garnered more sympathy from right-wing grifters who pretend they were on the left before the left became woke or something. Yeah, she could have been like, you know, I used to be left-leaning, but I woke up during Biden's administration, and now I realize that censorship is, you know, tearing America apart because you can say a word that gets said in 50 million rap songs and it, like, gets you fired or whatever. Like, there are so many, yeah, you know, directions you can take things. I think even the Babylon Bee made fun of her. I'm trying to find it. The Babylon Bee said it was something like, attractive woman says wokeness is gay-tarded, instantly becomes most popular conservative influencer, or something like that, which is a pretty good bit, I gotta say. Whatever, I'm pretty sure I found it. We're all gay-tarded here. I wish there were more honest believers among influential conservatives like it used to be. It's just an anti-empiricism thing, I think. The comments coping. They do this anytime the Babylon Bee posts anything actually funny. The Babylon Bee has been beefing with Nazis recently for some reason, because Seth Dillon, the person who runs the Babylon Bee, is Jewish. I'm telling you, man, look, the Nazis are at like a turning point. There's a fork in the road, and they've been at this fork for a while, and honestly, I think they've been leaning in the direction that's like wrong for them. For decades now, Nazis in American politics have just quietly and patiently pushed for mainstream conservative positions, trying to edge them further and further to the right, because they know that if they started marching down the street with, you know, the swastikas, it would get them met with like ubiquitous condemnation. But lately, they've been getting louder and more active, and to some extent, that's been to their benefit, because mainstream Republicans are now aware of the fact that Nazis are a core part of their constituency and must therefore be catered to. But at the same time, like, once you reach a point where, like, it's getting actively difficult to be conservative as a public figure and also be Jewish because the Nazis keep going after you, it does create a divide that makes things harder for them advocacy-wise.